occasion, we have Mr. Vijay Navle, TPO of AG Audi College of Engineering, Pune, to felicitate Shri Sunil Koloti. I now formally request Shri Koloti.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to come here and present to the forum of TPOs as well as students and industry as well. So, to give you my background, I have just migrated from Gurgaon or Mumbai to Pune, and I'm just 11 months old in the system up here. So, coming from the banking industry, outsourcing business, so coming to a telecom company which is Amdocs, where I work as a director of recruitment and manage the complete recruitment processes as well as for India. And so to give you a background what we are planning to do as an industry, I will take you through what Amdocs is product development, working into the telecom space purely into the US, UK and European markets. So we have a presence of close to around 60 countries where we are working in the telecom arena, and the products which are coming out, which may be being used by the operators or the backend teams where the companies are implementing the projects and getting their enhancements done through the businesses as well. And more mileage, and as the industry is moving up from a different arena to a different arena in the telecom space itself, we have been lucky enough to sustain past 30 years in existence since we started our organization. So we are close to around 20,000 employees globally in 60 countries with a good revenue of $3.18 billion. In India, we are based in Gurgaon and Pune location, and we have a spend of close to $1 billion which has been done only in enhancing the products related to software development and the products which are coming in the emerging markets across the countries. So this is the trend. I don't think so it is being visible from the dead end. I think so I will presentation at a later date. But I will continue on this aspect internally as well, through which we develop products. One is delivery team goes and does the implementation of the managed services team, which my clients and for applications which are Amdocs applications or non-Docs applications which are being worked on. So what is the industry background? As like Mr. Milind also pointed out, that decision is a point, and also Professor Mundra was also talking about the decision. There is a W philosophy in the industry currently, and after this W session, the last end which is moving out of this recession piece, you will see a larger trend going into a positive on towards the cost efficiencies, and the cost arbitrations will take a key role for every organization's success as well. So what we are talking about is consolidation activities which is already happening. Cloud computing will be a game changer for a lot of companies. Companies in working in the BFSI domain have taken a hit, but still telecom, government, retail, healthcare and other utilities companies will take a positive trend across, maybe from India or low-cost countries which can support the European and diversifying from the US markets to the local region, which is Central America and Latin America markets. What industry looks from engineers basically. One of my favorite topics which has been, and I've been interviewing a lot of campus graduates right from my starting days when I got into this role. And I've met a lot of people with a lot of activities which they perform and they want to do. But the basics sometimes is missing. It's basically the ability to apply knowledge where a common math, science problems can be solved. This is the basics. Also, ability to design and conduct experiments. People feel difficult that they can do those experiments. They don't want to try those experiments sometimes. They should dig into it and do those experiments which can work. Get into the core of that place. Getting the core and understanding the domain knowledge and understanding how the system reacts and how the system works will be a key aspect for the engineers as well to understand and gain more mileage out of it. Ability to formulate on what are the engineering problems and solve those problems. Take difficult examples. Recently we were doing a cloud-based project which was called Amdocs Code Mania. I don't know if any institutes participated from Pune, but I feel there were few. And in this Code Mania we had given a simple problem statement for 2 years and 3 years or second year, third year or fourth year students. It was a basic problem of a game. None of the NITs or the IITs people could try. Tell the code on Java, C++ or C language, but none. That was a zero result. So we had to look into the compilation codes, what the codes spin and what are the formulae noted. So post we looking at that, then we will come to a final selection which is under process as well. So basic using techniques and modern technology. See, like you just do a Google and today you get everything on the in your platter. People, I see that they do Google, but they forget the basics which are there in place. Students should enterprisely and encourage, the professor should encourage them to go to the basics and not look at what Google can provide. Presentations required for final year, it is all available on the net. Just do a Google and you get it. But how much mind application you have done? What techniques you have used? Have you dealt with those kind of problems? No. We need to look at those aspects of them. So what are the key takeaways? That's basically from this abilities is basically talking about the interdependent lifetime learning skills that should be always be ongoing. Don't stop at that you have come to a corporate that this ability stops. The learning ability should be online and always ongoing. Problem solving skills, creative thinking, creative out-of-box thinking, that is always required for a corporate and individual to be successful in the organization. Communication skills, like Mr. Milind also mentioned, the softer skills is very important part of this. And looking at the self-assessment, how much self-assessment does an individual do for what he looks at in terms of what have I done and how I have done. Is the assessment done by an individual to see where do I stand for myself? That is also one of the key aspects. Looking at change management, the world is changing, we should change as the world changes. Be adaptive, be flexible, be agile, be motivated. These are the basic aspects. And technology is not an area where you cannot be taught. You can learn technology, pick up things very quickly. But the attitude which is more important, the positiveness of the positive attitude is the key aspect to this area, where the learning will grow and the person will also grow if he carries the right attitude to the job place as well. What Amdocs Academia industry collaboration, what we are talking about out here is basically when I came on board and we had discussions, series of discussions internally, and there were some news articles which came out and we said that why don't we look at collaborating with academia? How do we do it? And we put a framework internally within Amdocs, and that is where we are going to roll out. We have already kick-started the process as well. In the process, what we have done is we have created 3 pillars around it. One is the academia interface, one is the industry interface, and one is the marketing communications interface. And which is budgeted and managed and supported by the business as well, so that we take this to a right direction where we help campuses or the institutes who want to collaborate with us. So like we started with one of the activity which we call Talks. Basically, we have our directors and vice presidents who are working with us, and we have engaged them and told them to take an institute who is there in local cities or maybe outside cities, maybe tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities, or tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 campuses, and adopt the campus. Adopt the campus right from it is like a mother baby. Okay? So the adoption, post the adoptions, the directors or those VPs will get engaged with the TPOs, start with guest lectures to start with the students, impart coding competition, knowledge sharing, what's happening in the industry, what the industry can give back to the society and to the students and to the institutes. This is where the collaboration is happening. And on giving an example, we had initiatives which we did and successful. One was with PICT and MIT campus, where we had an innovation lab, and we still continue working with those campuses and creating those innovation labs. And thus gives examples for what we share with the campuses and the students. We engage with them in terms of how they can code and what examples of problem solving can be done. We have our mentors who mentor them and create that environment so that they can come to our campus also and see how the innovation labs work within the firm as well. We have our people who work with the institutes like MIT and PCCOE, where the innovation lab had certain problems which the students had created, and finally they got hired as well. The next piece which we are talking about is faculty development program. This is also one of the aspects we are going to take through the brand ambassadors, who are the directors and VPs, to manage those faculty development programs, do research towards what is required and what is not. Also bring value add to the campuses and institutes, which will be helpful for them to the students in the right directions. Adding to that, we have planned, which is currently to a different level based on the cloud. So this is a work in progress, which I was also talking about. My recruitment team might reach out to you on how do we set it up, and that's a way forward for us. So if you look at the three pillars which we have created, collaboration, talking about. And this is supported by the management, and there are budget sources for them as well, which we have kept aside for this collaboration, which we call as AIC. Our current initiatives which we had started was the Code Mania contest, which we ran for students. This has been successful, where we had close to 4,000 plus students log into the server starting at 10 in the morning and ending at 8 in the night. And this was online coding competition which we had run. And this was based on cloud, where you could compile your code, compile your which you have been given, and submit the code online so that you get there if your program has been successful, a chance to win as well. Then we had this alumni docs, which we are reaching out to campuses. I have already interest to speak to the campuses, or in pipeline, which will be starting to speak to those campuses as well. And the next is planning to do a TPOs meet again in our campus and facility, where we'll invite the top students or the top ranking to come and see, visit what Amdocs does in how we want to collaborate with academia as well. So these were the two banners which we would have seen, and that is it from my side. Any questions? I'm ready to take.
Thank you so much, sir. We highlighted and the company is looking for. Moving ahead, we are glad to have with us Shri Prem Apte, Vice President HR, Technical Sir. I request Professor Indrajit Sonagni, TPO Sandeep Foundation College of Engineering, Nasik, to please felicitate Shri Prem Apte.